Greetings everyone, another day in the life of a Jamaican. I haven't uploaded any driving videos in a while, so I thought that today I would try things a little differently and upload some of the footage that I would have captured recently. And I also want to talk about the impact of the coronavirus from my perspective. Now, as some of you may know, I am a lecturer at the University of the West Indies, and primarily courses are delivered face-to-face. On March 13th, we closed the university due to the coronavirus, of course, and we reopened April 14th. But when we reopened, it was specifically for online delivery. And of course, you know, there's the challenge of learning a new method while delivering that said method. Wasn't so bad for me, as I'm a bit techie, but it did present its challenges. Now, teaching online is so much more difficult. Well, maybe not more difficult, but it takes so much more time than teaching face-to-face. Unbelievable. But finally, the semester is now over. Exam grades have been submitted finally in July, and we jump right into preparing for the new semester, which probably will be online as well. So I've acquired some equipment such as this camera here and microphone. You can comment on the audio quality and let me know if improvements are needed, so that I can use these equipment to aid in teaching and the delivery of courses. Will make presenting a little bit better. Now, onto the coronavirus. So, as you know, we reopened our borders approximately June 15th, and since then our cases have been steadily going up. But in comparison to the rest of the world, Jamaica has been doing so much better. We can't even compare ourselves with the USA in terms of coronavirus cases. USA is out of control right now. Europe, we're doing much better than Europe. So we would have, I believe, gotten rid of the coronavirus had we not reopened the border. But one has to balance the economy and the risk that coronavirus presents. Tourism plays a very, very integral part of Jamaica's economy, and as such, I understand why they needed to reopen the borders. But we also have to think, how do you quantify a life? Because if another 10 persons were to die, how do you justify that death given the reopening of the border? We do know that a poor economy does have its detrimental impacts. So that's something that I believe that they would have considered before reopening the borders. But unfortunately, wearing a mask and social distancing is the new normal. We have had much fewer games night, and persons who know me personally know that games night is my thing. But for now, games night for me is online gaming, battle royale games, and of course that is just not the same as interacting face to face with persons. So what are my recommendations? Now, I did a PhD in biochemistry, so my background is based on my background, I have some familiarity with virology, but I'm not an expert in that specific area. But from my understanding of viruses, and you would have heard this in the media many times, that in order to get rid of it, you have to build some sort of immunity. And we have two methods that we can choose to adapt to overcome this coronavirus. Herd immunity or community immunity, where everybody gets the virus, everybody gets over it, some persons die, but the living population will be immune to the virus. Or a vaccine. And if you're following the news very carefully, you would realize that we are making progress in that area. Clinical trials are proving to be very promising when creating a vaccine. But even so, we have to wait maybe another year for that to be approved for delivery to the general public. So we will have to deal with the coronavirus for another year or more. If it's anything like the Spanish flu, which lasted about 3 years, we are in for a long ride. And of course, there's a lot of anxiety. I don't know, I can't guarantee employment in the long run. I don't know. Of course, you know that enrollment at universities may decrease. You know, people don't really have money nowadays. A lot of persons lost their jobs, so that's something to consider as well. But we have to continue social distancing, wearing our masks, to ensure that we keep the levels down as low as possible. So, while we wait for a vaccine, we do need to distance ourselves and minimize our activities. I am appreciative of the reduction in traffic. I can drive around Kingston at any point in time and there is so little traffic. That's at least one benefit of this coronavirus. Unfortunately, going to the beach, my regular road trips have become very irregular right now, and that is something that I miss. For entertainment now, and to just get away, to relax, I have to resort to video gaming, online video gaming, battle royale games, which is quite fun, but of course not the same as having a road trip with friends. But you just have to adapt to the new normal until we return to a level where social distancing isn't necessary, wearing a mask isn't necessary, and avoiding the beach and other large gatherings isn't necessary. I look forward to that. But the concern that a lot of persons have right now is the security of their jobs. And that's definitely a concern that I have as well. And what happens next? I look forward to improvement. But for now, this is it. And that's my thought on the current situation. Thank you for listening. And I will see you another day in the life for Jamaica.